What if I told you that a single sector switch could double your export revenue? And that too without adding a single new factory line. The truth is, sector targeting is one of the most overlooked strategies in export success. Pick the right global industry at the right time and you ride a growth wave. Pick the wrong one and you are swimming against the current. Welcome to the Export Champions, a mini-series from India Grow Global. India Grow Global is an initiative to drive Indian companies into global recognition, transform products and services into brands the world loves. In this The Export Champions series, we answer questions from exporters, help the exporter community to discover how businesses can build global power brands, not just survive with low pricing, but become a premium brand and command premium pricing, enter new markets, and lead like a true blue market leader. I'm your host Amit Chandraa, and I have spent over 30 years designing branding and marketing strategies for top blue chip multinationals across 15 sectors. You may like to read more about myself and about India Grow Global in the description below. I welcome you to the show. Today we will talk about sector-wise strategies, how Indian exporters can win big in key global industries. In this episode, let's talk about high potential sectors for Indian exports between 2025 and 2027. The branding and marketing tweaks each sector demands. Case studies of Indian exporters dominating their niche. Risk management tips when entering new markets. And how contract manufacturers and D2C brands can adapt sector-specific strategies. In 2022, an Ahmedabad-based textile manufacturer noticed declining US orders for generic fabrics. Instead of waiting for recovery, they pivoted to technical textiles for sportswear brands in Europe. Within 18 months, their exports had jumped by 60%. That too without expanding their factory, just by targeting a more profitable segment. The moral of the story is that the market you choose is often more important than the products you make. Let me give you some tips on how power branding can help in different sectors. Let's evaluate the opportunities in engineering goods sector. Engineering goods are a highly lucrative sector to be in because global infrastructure spending is surging, especially in ASEAN, Africa, and the Middle Eastern countries. Indian engineering goods exports crossed 112 billion US in FY 2023, with demand in power equipment, auto components, and machinery. A Pune-based auto components firm became an EV component supplier to European manufacturers by showcasing green certifications. There is a branding tip in this story. Instead of being just a parts vendor, if you shift your brand positioning as a technology partner, you will have newer markets opening for you, and you will no more be competing on price. Your customer will choose you on the merit of your positioning instead of being the cheapest. Now, let's move on to the next sector. Food products are always in demand. What's the edge for India? Well, agri and food product sector exporters are of the view that food products are always in demand. Then what kind of edge can Indian agri and food sector exporters create? Well, Indian exporters can differentiate themselves on the basis of diversity and heritage of India. They can position themselves as growing global appetite for healthy plant-based and organic foods. A Karnataka-based millet producer rebranded themselves as a superfood supplier. They went ahead and secured USDA certification, that is, the US Department of Agriculture's organic certification, and with that, they cracked the US health food market despite tariffs. The branding tip is, if you are into food, agri, personal care products, or herbal and ayurvedic products, lead with health and tradition. And instead of just claiming this in your ads, build trust and credibility by acquiring the right certifications. Next up we have is textiles and apparels. Businesses from this sector believe that textile sector has dense competition and the market has saturated. Well, yes, it is a highly competitive sector, no doubt, but has it really saturated? Well, let me ask you a question. Has the demand for apparel saturated? Because not only the population is increasing globally, even the fashion consciousness is on the rise. people's disposable income and spends on fashion have also increased. Then how can it be called a saturated market? Let me break it up into two sections. If you only compete on price, then yes, you may rightfully feel the market is saturated because there are plenty of suppliers in each category and the competition is indeed tough. However, and I repeat, however, if you can redefine your brand positioning, tweak your product specs a little, you can still very much own a niche. A niche that will make your buyers ask for your product. And if you can find a truly strong differentiation, then you could even charge a premium. Be market aware, look for new product innovations, be an early bird to enter new products before the competition really hots up, and you may even have a chance to be a market leader. Not only in apparels but across the sector, the key principles for success in today's business environment are largely two: innovation and differentiated branding. Innovation is mostly considered as technical, but innovation can also be guided by changing social, emotional, and personal needs of our customers. For example, earlier, working professionals needed more of shirts and trousers, right? But working from home has changed and today's professionals are looking for casual and semi-casual wear. Similarly, back in the days, people shopped for accessories like ties and kerchiefs, suspenders and cufflinks, whereas today's generation is looking for Thursday and Friday dressing. Brighter colors, wrinkle-free clothing for ease of managing their wardrobes, slip-ons and sneakers instead of leather shoes with laces. Briefcases have made way for the backpacks. These are all socio-behavioral changes that influence the market demand. If your marketing team is early to sight these emerging changes and your product development can respond with quick adaptations, then definitely the markets are far from being saturated. Once the innovation is done, these factors go on to serve as the menu for branding. You can position your brand as sustainable fabrics, Indo-Western fusion wear, and ethnic luxury. Let me share a couple of market insights. An Indian exporter shipped cheap generic t-shirts to Australia. The t-shirts were not branded at all. They were generic and they were being bought by garment manufacturers who would value add on them and sell it as branded t-shirts. Within 3 months, they got undercut by Bangladesh. Whereas at the same time, a Surat-based brand sold hand-woven silk sarees as heritage couture in Singapore boutiques. And they were charging 8x the mass market price and had no fear of being displaced by cheaper market offerings. Their customers were well defined. Those customers were prepared to pay premium for a well-defined differentiation. How do pharma and wellness play into export success? Now, let's take a look into pharma and wellness sector. They make for a big share in Indian exports. India is the world's largest generic supplier and is a rising power in natural wellness. Demand for ayurvedic, herbal, and plant-based products is booming globally. If you are a generic drug manufacturer watching this, then let me caution you, India may currently be in an advantageous position in the generic drugs, but if one has to consolidate their market hold, then this is the time to invest in strong brand positioning. For D2C brands, here's an interesting tip. An Ayurvedic skincare D2C brand went from 0 to 40% export sales in 2 years through Amazon Global and Middle Eastern influencer campaigns. Next, let's take a look at the contract manufacturing. As a contract manufacturer, the key is specialization. Being a general purpose contract manufacturer limits premium opportunities. Sector specialized facilities like sportswear, luxury leather goods, or organic food processing command higher margins. A Tamil Nadu sportswear factory became the go-to manufacturer for Middle East football clubs by offering custom performance fabrics. If you're finding our brand guidance helpful and if you would like your business specific guidance, then hit us in the strategy call link given in the description below. Let's talk and discover how we can transform your brand into a power brand. India Grow Global is on a mission to make Indian businesses brand ready for them to take their rightful place on the world table. We're building this channel as a free knowledge share platform for Indian businesses. So do like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay informed about this and the future episodes. And do check out the earlier episodes. The links for them are given in the description below. What's the risk of going sector specific? If you're being sector specific, once the sector dips, you're exposed. That's why the best exporters dominate one niche while building a second beachhead. An engineering firm specialized in wind turbine parts but added solar components within 2 years, and they hedged against any sector downturns. Here are some interesting market insights. Engineering goods exports grew by 8.5% year on year in 2023. Organic food exports make a CAGR of 10.4%. Technical textile markets is growing by 12% globally. The projected market size for ayurvedic and herbal wellness is estimated to grow over 16 billion by 2030. Before signing off, here's a thought for you. Sector choice can make or break your export growth. Choose the right industry, brand for that niche, and adapt your strategy to its unique buyers. And you will find that global success is less about luck and more about focus. Until next week, India, grow global. Be seen, be remembered, and be ahead.